This is a short film about the PTC723-724 VHF radiotelephone fixed station AM base station made by PYE Telecoms of Cambridge. Investigative report by GADPR of the GADPR PYE Museum of Bewdley, Worcestershire. Day fix. If we open the manual, look at the contents, we come to the picture of PYE PTC723-724 base station. No microphone with it. As I said before, possibly estimate about 1954, 55, 56 of that era. This is my interpretation of that picture. I'll just put the microphone on there as it's a bit of a windy day. And there is my PYE PTC723-724 base station. We'll shut the manual again as it's a bit of a windy day. That microphone, the TULIP microphone, I am assuming would have been used with it. There is no remote facility on this one. This is a local base station. It has one modification done to it by a radio amateur, a slow motion drive added between the transmitter and the receiver for VFO purposes on the receiver. So I believe this has been modified for 4 meters working. So it runs about 15 watts or so, 10 to 15 watts out, QQVO320A, and I now take life into my own hands and very carefully balance the transmitter out of the chassis, the meter and switch there for various voltages and currents to be taken. There are a couple of valves missing in this particular transmitter. The PA valve is there though, which is QQVO320A. You can see reasonably clearly if I just gently tip the phone there. A pair of 6 V6s there, hiding just down there in the back there. That's the back of the transmit lamp. This is the green on lamp. This is the red transmit lamp. Then we have a very large transformer and choke. A pair of capacitors for smoothing of the rectification, the GZ34 or whatever rectifier sits in the back there. And that is a complete PTC723. I think it's a 330 transmitter, 330 transmitter low band. So I have now slotted that back into place, and we will now gently rotate around the unit. Make sure I don't trip over various other things that are here in the garden at the moment. And we now have a view at the back and come into the plaque there. 330V, so it is a 25 kc spacing base station with a view at the back of the PA again. The anode coils, the anode tuning. You would not be doing this normally. There would be a lot of HT on there. A lot of HT. Some very nice TCC smoothing capacitors at the back there. And then the link for the aerial changeover relay from the receiver. Just sit down here. We would have mains, and then mains to the outside world down here. Aerial in, the original coax that came with it, believe it or not, 75 ohm coax. A link from the receiver, output of the transmitter, down to feed the aerial to the receiver. And a switch link, earth and SWR-R relay, which comes down on this pair here to earth and out diode current, I do believe, which is for switching between transmit and receive. The aerial coax is here, still the absolute original. This is an absolute original untouched base station, apart from the addition of that BFO there, has been made there feeds down into the receiver chassis, which is based on the PYE Ranger and slightly earlier transceivers. Very basically the same as the previous base station, the PT723-704. I think this just has a better selectivity and a better specification than the PTC703-704, the original one. So if we come back from the rear view of that base station, plenty of grills underneath here for air ventilation. Have a look along the back of the receiver. Very, very similar indeed to the PTC703-704. And underneath here would have been the RTC controller output, because as I said, this is a local base station. Come back round to the back of the microphone, the TULIP microphone. And back to the front. TULIP microphone. I believe this has a PYE designation underneath. The PYE PTC723 mic. Get that in the shade so that you can see that. And it's got G8UEK written on it, another radio amateur microphone, abandoned and reclaimed by the PYE Museum of Bewdley, Worcestershire. G8 EPR, Dave Hicks reporting upon the PYE PTC723-724 fixed station AM. The end.